Good evening and welcome everyone to the COVID-19 webinar series hosted by the Jakarta Post and Tenggara Strategics. This is the sixth webinar series that we hold with the title Never Say Never, Pursuing a Healthy Lifestyle Safely Amid the COVID-19. So today my name is Priscilia Putri Nirmalasari and I'm going to be your host and moderator for this talk show session. And before we started, I would like to welcome and remind everyone to continue practicing 3M or 3M, mencuci tangan, memakai masker, and menjaga jarak. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and maintain a safe distance when you're in public. So today we have been joined by two wonderful speakers who will share with us their experience in maintaining healthy lifestyles during the pandemic. Why is this topic important? The COVID-19 pandemic has had a tremendous impact on all our lives. The large-scale social restriction, or PSBB, and other coronavirus measures have changed the way we live and interact with one another. While vaccine development continues, maintaining a healthy and safe lifestyle in line with the health protocols remain the best way to avoid and prevent transmission, and thereby continuing mitigation efforts nationwide as well as contributing as individuals for this COVID-19 efforts. This webinar will focus on focusing about how can we maintain our personal health and safety through our lifestyle choices during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we have been joined by Dr. Fala Adinda and Bang Ari Ahmad Syarifuddin today. But before I introduce our speakers, I'd like to ask our speakers to take a picture together with us. Andreas, would you mind to help with the photo? Yeah. We can start in 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Is it all good? Yeah. One more time, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Thanks. And um, Andreas, if you could share the profile for our speakers. Yeah. Our first speaker today is Dr. Fala Adinda. She's not only a licensed physician, but she's also a content creator and a part of the mitigation team for the COVID-19 task force. And Dr. Fala has been also volunteering in the COVID-19 emergency hospital in Wisma Atlet. And she has been now actively promoting about the COVID-19 mitigation efforts together with the task force all around Indonesia. Hello, Mbak Fala. How are you tonight?
Hi, fine, thank you. And you, how about you, Putri?
Good, good. It's good to see you again after a
Right.
while.
Yeah, it's been a while since 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been
Yeah,
almost 3 years.
yeah, serious.
And we also have with us today Bang Ari or Ahmad Syarifuddin.
Hi, hi.
Hi, Bang Ari. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. And how about you?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you
Nice
for
in
coming.
meeting you. Nice in
Yes,
meeting you finally.
it's good to finally see you, and thank you for joining us tonight in this
Sure,
event.
anytime. It's a pleasure.
So, Bang Ari is the acting CMO at GoFit.id, a one-stop solution for healthy lifestyle enthusiasts. If you're looking into a platform where you can find all tips and events and also your needs for healthy lifestyles, that's your place to go. And he's also a sport enthusiast. And if you can see in the picture here, he was an overweight guy who finally found his passion in healthy lifestyle. So I think, Bang Ari, there's a lot that you could share with us tonight about how this journey have brought you to a more healthier lifestyle and how this have changed your life as well, I guess.
I hope so. I hope we have a good discussion tonight.
Yeah. Uh, So without further ado, I think we could start our discussion tonight. And maybe I'd like to begin with a lighter question first. Yeah. Um, I think this pandemic have changed a lot of things in our lives, our daily lives, our activities as well. So if you could share with us, what have you been up to, Bang Ari and Mbak Fala? Perhaps maybe Bang Ari could also start to share.
Sure. This pandemic changed my life a lot, to be honest, about my sport lifestyle as well, about my sports routine as well, about how am I doing my running train, about when I'm doing my weight training. A lot of things change during this pandemic. So usually before the pandemic, I run with a lot of my friends. I run with big groups, but nowadays, since the pandemic, I run alone. I start run earlier at 5, if I not 5 or 5:30, and then I prefer to stay at home. If there are no important things that I have to do outside my home, then that's it. Maybe there's a lot of things change in my life, especially about my opportunities. That's it.
Mm. So you have been working from home as well, mostly?
Working from home as well, and I accompanying my daughter to studies at home. I have to be a father and a teacher as well. Have
Mm-hmm.
to knows about what she learned, about what she's been doing lately, and uh, before the pandemic, I know nothing sometimes about what she had been doing, what she learned about in her school. But yeah, during the pandemic, I have to know anything that she learned. Well, that's a good thing for me.
So you're now also taking the role of a teacher at home for
Sure. Yes.
homeschooling your.
Yes.
Uh,
Thankfully, I have a amazing wife that taking care of a lot of things in my home, about taking care about a lot of things about my daughter studies, about the supplies of my daughter that she really needs, what about her study and about her school. But after all, I have to know about what the details that she learned, what the things that she really need at every single day. That's it.
that's very interesting. What about you, Mbak Fala? I heard that you have been traveling around Indonesia during the pandemic while everyone are not being able to fly, but you have been tasked with a very difficult job, I guess, with the COVID-19 hospital.
Actually, this the pandemic is quite unique for me because it's changed my life a lot. I, I usually say that pandemic is call of duty for me.
Mm.
It's more like me being a doctor. It's more me like being a volunteer in the disaster. Perhaps that's me in as a doctor, because before pandemic it's just me being a content creator, just me being in the entertainment and things at like meet with you to the China. We do like entertainment thing, we do taking the photo, we do fun thing, and then pandemic came and then everything changed, and I decided to give my life for humanity, for our nation, and it changed a lot. And I don't know, it shift my paradigm, it shift my motivation in life, and it grounded my mind to see the life in the different view, in the helicopter view, in the widened horizon, and it seriously changed everything. This pandemic for me in per se is about the call of duty for
Mm.
our nation, for humanity, and that's it. And I don't know how this will happen, I don't know how this thing will end, but it's still going and it still happen, and whatever it will be, whatever it will was this, it happened. And I don't know. I just call it this like maybe it's my dream or what, but I enjoy it. I I feel alive here. It feel like it's hard to know. It's hard the job. It's hard to life, but it's the best time to live and the good time to die, I think. So yeah, this is pandemic in the my helicopter view. So yeah, pandemic changed me a lot, quite a lot.
That's a very interesting perspective to see, I guess, when you say that this is a good time to leave, because I think you have been contributing a lot as well to to the causes that you have done to healthcare, and as a doctor as well, that you have been volunteering in the Wisma Atlet in the emergency
Yeah,
hospital. If you would
yeah,
you mind to share with us a little bit, how did you end up
yeah.
volunteering?
It started at, I don't know, it's like at the end of February, at the starting of pandemic, at the global pandemic in the February. So I joined in the Wisma Atlet, the emergency of hospital. I decided to join because I know this is the time for me to pay my oath, my Hippocratic oath to my God, to my Allah. So by the time I graduated from my medical faculty, I said that I will do for my humanity. So I pay it. I do it. I have the power. I have the energy. So I have the age. I have everything to do it. So I join it. So, and another reason is I need a step upland to my voice to be heard in the public. I need the way to my things to be legitimate, to my uh to my activity being more looks like legit to people, so I can have a better voice to be heard by people.
Yeah.
So I can say to them to do things good in this pandemic. So I joined the Wisma Athlete within like 2 months, and then I purna from there, and then I started, and this is not the end of the journey, I think. So actually that was the start of it, and I start the journey by interview of the media. I write up the article, I do the webinar, Zoom meeting, and everything. So with all the experiences, I meeting all the patient, I work in the hospital, I have the legitimate voice, so I can have a good argument to say to the people to make them follow the rule to us to save this country in this pandemic. So yeah, actually my aim is just save this country in this pandemic, not more, just for humanity and this country. This, I'm sorry, it's my son.
I think it's a very good way to.
Uh-huh.
No worries. Hi, Kiko.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's a very good way to maintain a positive perspective during this pandemic, especially as you mentioned, as a content creator. I think both you and Bang Ari as well have been leveraging your platform as a way to educate more people and socialize about maintaining the health protocol, the 3 M's, and also I saw in your social medias, both Dr. Fala and Bang Ari, that you have been very active in doing sports as well. Even though you have been busy with all your other activities, I know Mbak Fala has been running, jogging, and during her time in Wisma Atlet, and even now while she's traveling around the country, she still finds times to exercise wherever she is. And Bang Ari, you're the same. I even saw in GoFit they have this virtual run event, which I think is very interesting. If maybe you could also share a little bit about that.
About the virtual run, well, actually, the virtual run ideas is about how we try to promote about healthy lifestyle to every people in Indonesia. So we try to promote that you can do sports everywhere, you can running everywhere, you can run alone everywhere, but you can still connect it through the platform. Actually, you can still connect it through the WhatsApp platform, the Strava platform, Garmin Connect platform, on any kind of technical platform that could connect us through this kind of technology. So the basic idea is encourage people to move, to walk, or to run, and then to like having a physical activities around 30 minutes until an hour per day. But they can do it all alone. They can do it everywhere. But then they can feel connected. As I've mentioned before, they can feel connected through the platform or through the social media like Instagram. and we can make like kind of webinar maybe weekly about how about your progress, how about your friends progress. We can update our progress over there, and we can still as basic needs of human being, we need to be connected, we need to be a social creature, so we need to be connected and feel needed by other people, and we can help them if they're needed. Those kind of things that make the virtual run ideas to be arise finally. But aside of that things, as usual, just like Dr. Fala did, everywhere she can find times, and she can find a good place to run, and she can find a motivation to run and to move and to inspire people. Let's do some physical activities. Let's maintain our healthy lifestyle during this pandemic. So during this pandemic, I think that will be one of the perfect timing to, just like Doc Fala told us earlier, is a perfect timing to change a lot of things. Like this is a perfect timing to influence people to be more healthier and change their lifestyle maybe. Yeah, for Indonesia, yeah, as we know, this is for Indonesia and for the world, as we know, this is not the good things at the beginning. This pandemic has changed a lot of good things to worse and worse and nowadays. But as you've mentioned before, and as Dr. Fala mentioned before, if we change our perspective, we can see a lot of good things that we can take and make a better future for Indonesia and this world.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the idea of virtual run is very nice. Where you mentioned that although we're doing the sports activities alone, we could still feel connected with everyone else through the internet, through uploading your progress, and see that there's a lot of other people who are also doing and improving your progress. And maybe if you could share, there was a bit of controversies, I think, early on in the when the pandemic began in mid of this year as well, even that wearing a mask when you're exercising might not be a good way to go.
Okay.
If you could share your take on this, perhaps Dr. Fala could also share your thoughts, and what is the best way to maintain safety while we're exercising and doing this healthy lifestyle. As Bang Ari mentioned, he find ways to exercise maybe earlier in the morning at 5. But what about other methods today?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, that's what Aris said is correct. If we talk about the sport, we talk about any other activity, it's still the same. So we cannot only appreciate about the sport, or either we dating, or either we doing some grocery shopping, or either doing things. Actually, activity is still activity. So we still do any healthy protocol. It's doing wearing masks. Is we keep the distance. We keep our hygiene. Is still three things that we should do in every activity. But if we talk about the protocol, we talk about the we talk about some things like, okay, I can't run with mask on. So if you cannot run with mask on, you can do it like, okay, you go out in the earlier in the morning, like 5 a.m. So you can run in the street with no people. So you can run without mask. This is the thing that we call adapting in a pandemic. So you know the knowledge of it. You know how to the viral through into your body. You know how to transmit it. You know how the viral going into your body. So you know how to avoid it. You know the function of the mask. So you know how to playing with it. You know how to wear it properly. So I think it's not about the protocol, but you know very well the knowledge of it, so you can apply it in your life very, very smooth in your life. So it's very important for us to know the basic knowledge of the viral, so you can play it in your life, not only in the sport, but in every aspect of your life. Because it's very impossible for you. You it's it's a pretty normal for you. You want to, sometimes you want to drink, sometimes you want to eat, right? And it's not about in the sport. It's about every activity. You want to put your mask off. You want, sometimes you want to be very attached close with another people. Sometimes you can't wash your hands. It's about adapting. It's not only about sports. So stay in the health protocol, but maybe you cannot, if you can't apply it, please keep watching your environment. Is it safe for you to put your mask off? Is it safe for you to maybe not applying the distance maybe? Or if you can't wash your hands, what is your mitigation to do it? So please knowing your basic knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's a very good advice. We have to keep on always maintaining the healthy protocol, the safety protocols, and so it's completely okay to wear mask while you're doing sports. Or if you really don't want to wear a mask, you could choose to do the sports alone in another time where there's no one around you, so you could adapt
Yeah.
and uh, use whatever, make the best out of the situations you're in, and not don't say that not using a mask as an excuse for doing when you're doing sports as well.
Yeah. Sometimes people to differentiate about the sport, about the any other activity, but that is too much wrong on it, because sport and other activities are the same. They're the same. We should apply all the safety protocol in every other aspect of the activity, not only in sport.
Actually.
Yeah, but I think maybe you have some you'd like to add.
Sure. I cannot agree more with the things that Dr. Fala said earlier. Is it really totally perfect that what she said before? It's like sport is just a part of our life activities, daily activities. Sport is just a small part of our lives. When people or when the doctor, when the expert told us, just wear your mask on, put your mask on every single time, every place and everywhere. Just apply it. I mean, like we're we're as a citizen, we're as a person who might know nothing details about this kind of virus, but when the doctor or the expert already told us about it, just apply it. We know nothing about the future risk that might happen by the virus. The best thing for us to do right now is, yeah, just like Doc Fala said before, put your mask on every single time, everywhere, and for sure, do not ever forget to wash your hand if you want to touch your, facial area, or you want to touch food or any kind of things. And for sure, yeah, maintaining physical distancing is one of the most things that we have to be really aware of, because maybe as I've told you before, we might be want to be connected through the platform, we want to be connected through the social media, through the internet. We don't want, for sure, if you ever heard about the fear of missing out, we don't want it to be missing out from our friends, and then they put the photos with a lot of their friends really close without a mask on. They put their mask off, and then it's just like they make a justification that what they did is the right thing, because some people thought it's just for the sake of for the sake of taking a good picture, they put the mask off. But sometimes they forget about how if other people receive the different message that they trying to spread. So, thank you, Dr. Fala.
Yeah, I guess it's really important to keep on always maintaining the health protocol, wear your mask, wash your hands, and maintain a safe distance. And sports, it's not different from other activities that you do in your daily life. So yeah, healthy lifestyle is definitely one of the most important, and they are following the health protocols as well. Maybe if do you have any other tips about how can we stay safe while exercising, or what kind of healthy lifestyle changes that people could start doing in this pandemic time? Because we know that a lot of people have been starting to pick up new habits during the pandemic. A lot of people maybe started, more people have been into riding bicycles these days. There was the trend, I think, around in the mid of this year where everyone started going on a bike and running, and there's a lot of different new trends that have been popping up, especially concerning healthy lifestyles as people are getting more health conscious. Do you have any tips about if people would like to start living a healthier lifestyle? Maybe Bang Ari, you have experienced previously where your weight was not the most ideal, and then you started changing into a very fit and very health conscious, I guess, person compared to your past. If you could share perhaps what inspired you to start pursuing your healthy lifestyle and what motivates you.
Okay, but for first thing first, I would like to say thank you that you're not asking me to talk about how to ride a bicycle safely, because finally that's not me, because the last week I fell down from the bike just because of my sloppiness. So okay, I'm gonna try to share about what the thing that motivates me to change my lifestyle. Well, first thing first, it's all about my, you know, it's all about my daughter. You know, at that time, my daughter has just grown up and she's just playing around all the time. She's running over there and there. And then at that time, back to 2013, 2014, I cannot keep up with her at all. I cannot catch up her pace at all. And I feel really, really exhausted every time I have to play with her. I even cannot lift her up in a long time. And then, okay, and then that changed me a lot. But move backward to several years before. Well, my dad, has a history with diabetes. So I heard, but please doc, please correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, Doc Fala. But I heard about that, that the someone with the diabetes could share the legacy to their son or their daughter about the potential to having another diabetes mellitus as well. That's why at that time I tried to change my lifestyle. Back to 2010, back to 2010, and then until 2020, as you saw earlier at the beginning. That's one of my picture over there. That was me when I have 83 kilos. Well, actually, I used to have 92 kilos at that time, 92 kilos. And then I tried to change my lifestyle a bit. I eat no fried food at all. I eat no fried food at all. I try to cut down my carbs. I try to do any kind of sport. But at that time, I do exercises, I do training, I do diets without knowledge. I just do it because I saw people do it. I did it because I read it, some articles from kind of magazine with the very fit models in front of the cover. I know nothing about it. But then during the progress, I learned a lot. I took the nutritionist certifications. I took the personal trainer certifications. I tried to learn about what should I eat. It's all about how about knowing your body, and your body actually is your long-term investment. Your body is your long-term investment, because you don't want to be weak and get a lot of sick when you got old, right? So that's why I try to start from now, start earlier. Maybe I have a bad history at the past, but it's okay. Now I try to change my mind, change my lifestyle, and I'm not trying to be better than anyone. I'm not trying to compete with any other people, but I just trying to be better than I used to be. That's it, maybe.
So your daughter is really the source of inspiration for you to start and motivates you to. Because you mentioned you shared, I think, a bit earlier that being able to pick up your daughter every day, also one of the exercise that you have been doing these days.
Exactly. And she's getting heavier, it's getting bigger. Well, that's why I have to lift the weight heavier because I have to train to pick her up every single time.
If you now, what changes have you felt since you switched to a more healthier lifestyle? I mean, it's definitely not instant and it takes
Yeah,
a long
yeah,
time,
yeah.
a long process. But yeah, what are the benefits that you have felt since you started living a a healthier lifestyle, not only for starting with exercise, but also maintaining what you eat, what you have in your body.
Yeah, yeah. I once heard that uh, your abs met in the kitchen. At that time, I heard that, but then I learned a lot. It's not only about your abs only. It's not only about your muscle only, but it changed a lot in your lifestyle. It changed a lot in your habit. It changed a lot in your performance in the office. It changed a lot your confidence. For sure, in at the office, I learned a lot how to make a healthy competition, not to be a procrastinator. I used to be a procrastinator. I delay a lot of job at that time, but then I have to do what I have to do. uh, I never finish what I never not finish what I've started. I always finish it what I've started before, uh, regardless the result. But that's the things that I learned a lot from sport, especially from running, because I learned a lot from running about how to maintain heart rate. I learned how to maintain the heart rate. I learned how to maintain the pace, and then I learned a lot from the running. Just like uh, you know, it's all about consistency. It's all about how to, you know, trying to be not to be the best in your office, but trying to give the best support to your office. For me, as the example, that's it. And is that way much better if the things could inspire more people in your environment?
Mm. I think that's very interesting. So it's not only for you, for your body and your immune system, but it's also for your personality and your personal satisfaction with
Sure.
improving your confidence and all.
Exactly.
And what about from the health perspective? Perhaps Dr. Fala could also share from the more medical perspective. What are the benefits and of maintaining healthy lifestyles, especially in the middle of pandemic like this?
Okay. If we talk about the doing sport in this pandemic, people tend to forget if we're doing sport to maintain our healthy and to boost our immunity, because people tend to do race. No, there's no race in this pandemic. We postpone our Olympic. We postpone our race. There will be no race in this year. So just be calm. Just do it calmly. So the one thing that I need to say to the people out there in this pandemic, through this pandemic, is do your sport as calm as you can, because the aim of doing sport in this pandemic is to boosting your immunity, to keep your healthy. So because in this pandemic we cannot afford to get sick.
Yeah. Mhm.
Any sick like sneezing is we can public enemy this day. We cannot afford to get sick. Not even a fever, not even the cough, not even the sneeze. So maybe I'm not the expert to say about the science of the sport, about the healthy lifestyle, about the nutrition, about the how to do the zone 2, zone 3, or the how to get the good pace in the sport. But all I can say is doing sport as the calm as you can in this pandemic, because you cannot afford to get sick. Do it to boost your immunity. Do it to keep you healthy. So that's it. I think do it in the proper way, like do it for fun, do it to keep your sanity. Because for me, I always spend my time to doing sport because it keeps my sanity. That what makes me sane. That what makes me happy. So I always wake up in the morning, 4:30 a.m. and 5 a.m. I go out, I run, and then 8 a.m. I go to the meeting with the hectic day and the challenging day, and then I go to like, and my boss like calling me like, Kala ini gimana, and then everything's fine after running.
Mhm.
But before running, like everything's hectic. I don't know. So I need sport. So to you who needs sport to keep your sanity, just do it.
Mm.
But please, we cannot afford to get sick. Do it in a very careful way. Don't get snob.
Mm.
Do it very careful, please. Because do it over sport, over training will affect your body in imbalance your hormone, imbalance your nutrition in your body, and will affect your metabolism. It will affect your blood control and everything in your body. So it will not healthy in your body. So please do it in a proper way.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's very true what you mentioned earlier about pacing during when you do sports, because in this pandemic we don't have any marathons, we don't have any, there's no Olympics, there's no like running competitions and fun run or color runs, but it's more for our mental health and for the sake of our
Yeah.
sanity as well. It's more of a personal retreat, I guess, perhaps for you and for Bangari as well in this pandemic, because you get your me time, you get your alone time, and it yeah it I think it's true that doing exercise and sports, it raises your metabolism. I think it makes you feel more energetic, and you're ready to start the day better.
Ah, yeah.
Good.
And my boss order.
Is it mandatory for your office to do sports every day?
No, but my it's a kind of funny thing that I got this job at the task force because I do triathlon.
Oh,
Okay, that's interesting. Wow.
how did the connection happen? Did they?
Okay, just a funny. At first, I apply at the task force as a volunteer,
Mm.
and then it turned out that at the second interview, I got the interview by my boss here at the task force of national task force, and then he asked me like he saw my CV and he asked me like, oh, you do sport? Yeah. Oh, no wonder you have a good body in a positive way. Oh, no wonder you have good body. Okay, you can meet me. Uh, he arranged a meeting. Like, you will meet me someday. Okay, and then I met him, and then we arranged a meeting, and he wants to know me better. He wants to know me like what will I do, what the commitment that I will give to this country, how merah putih I am, how I really want to fix this country, how I really want to help this country. And then I get accepted this job. I get accepted at
Oh.
Satgas Nasional under his, because my boss is the previous of the one of the committee of the KONI pusat.
Ah, I
Yeah,
see.
so precisely, quote unquote, he love uh woman who doing sport. So well, when people 2 years ago laughing at me like, what the hell you do with road bike, I can say now I got a job here.
Okay. So I really need to learn how to ride the bike properly, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting, though. Wow.
And today Inge won a triathlon in Phuket,
Okay.
and my boss send the record to me, and he said like, saingan kamu nih Fala. Oh wow.
You got a competition and
Ikut Prasad yuk.
step up your game for next triathlon after the pandemic.
Like, no, like she's an athlete, I am not.
Not an athlete yet.
Yes, no.
Wow.
And he always give me time to do sport. Like always, like he always know at 5 a.m. I will run until 7. Like you know it. And at 7 he calls me like, have you done your running 10K? Okay, now you can do your job. Okay, my boss.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's a very nice coincidence where that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually running and all the sports that you have done. So maintaining a healthy lifestyles from even before the pandemic does not
yeah,
only helps you to boost your immunity and makes you more
yeah.
fit, but it also even ends up as a job now.
It's it's a quiet funny that the sport is becoming a political dialectic like now. Sport
Mm.
becoming a language, like we can sit in the same table
table.
with the people like we never think we can sit
Yeah,
together because we're doing the same sport.
Mm.
Like
nice.
I've never imagined I can sit with Sandiaga Uno just because I run. I can believe I can sit with Cucu Sumantri because I run. I can believe I sit with Edi Cahyadi because I run.
Mm.
That's all because I run, because I ride. And who I am, if I'm not running, if I'm not doing triathlon, I'm just a heartlessly doctor who do content creating, do
Mm.
TikTok maybe, not in here.
Yeah, I think like it's always amazing to see how life turns out and how like the things that we never thought
Would
would end up
happen.
as connection. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could
So I
happen.
think it's a new goal right away, right now.
Yeah, I never mentioned that any particular doing part of this sport. It's a golf, it's a bridge, maybe it's a chess like that.
Hmm.
Chess like that. You watch it, chess like that. Sicilian like that.
Yeah,
Or maybe horse
yeah, yeah. Horse
right
riding.
now. Gitu.
Yeah.
I don't know what's upcoming, but maybe for the upcoming years ahead, sport it's still a language. Sport it's still a
Universal
door.
language.
Yeah,
It's still a door for us to sit in the same table in the high bar.
interesting. Maybe I would like to go back a little bit to what you said about we cannot afford to get sick during this pandemic. It's not only costly to get sick as
Yeah,
it's always also I think the healthcare facilities, also the healthcare workers, the capacity uh,
sure.
have been quite lower these days with more COVID-19 patients
True.
going in, and I think perhaps Bang Ari also has felt when you fell down. I think it must be quite disheartening. Maybe you were a bit nervous of going to the hospital for checking.
Yeah.
Was there as when you were in the emergency hospital, perhaps, Dr. Payo, is there any changes compared to the normal hospital, the normal routine that you've seen, or is there any differences, or do you feel like there's so many patients and the
Okay.
workload is very high?
Okay. The workload. Well, I think the hospital in this month, comparing to the 8 months or 9 months, is quite different. The hospital is pretty safe right now because we different the wings, the infection wings and the non-infection. So precisely like the hospital is quite pretty safe right now, comparing 8 to 9 months ago where the COVID-19 is hit Indonesia recently. So you don't have to be too much afraid to go to the hospital because it's pretty safe now. And but still we cannot afford to get sick because hospital needs the capacity because the health workers still have so much things to do in this pandemic.
Mm.
we have so much tasks to do. Like, you know, in one hospital that usually thinks that the infection patient that usually we visit them with normal clothes, now we still have like level 3 with level 3 uh
So,
clothes. Like,
Yeah,
I,
the with the.
it's quite
Mm.
exhausted for us. So if you want to help us, please don't get sick. Please keep your healthy. That's the least you can do for us, maybe.
Mm.
But don't be afraid to go to hospital because hospital is pretty safe right now.
Okay, I think perhaps continuing from what you just mentioned, please be healthy and please don't get sick. Bang Ari, could you share a little bit of some tips, perhaps? If for me, for example, I'm not the healthiest person, but I think it's never too late to start, and the hardest thing sometimes is to start and to have the motivation to push through and to keep on going. Do you have any tips for that?
um, just like Dr. Fala mentioned earlier, the if you want to do sport, please do as calm as you can for now. In sports theory, in sport training, we know about low and moderate training for now. As Dr. Fala mentioned earlier as well, there will be no race, there will be no Olympic, there will be no championship will be held until at the end of this year's minimum. So why should we try to push ourselves into our limit for now? If you want to do some sport, just start it. Just start it easy. As you said before, the hardest things is to start. Okay, just start. If you want to do the, the the good things is you have the intention to start it. You have the intention to change your lifestyle. I mean, if you want to do some sport, no need to run. No need to run fast. No need to run faster. If you want to do walk, okay, power walk is okay. A faster walk that will be better. If you want to do 3 kilos, is okay. 5K is okay. Choose any kind of sport that you love and that you want.
Mm,
Because as you said earlier, it's all about consistency.
mm,
Just trying to love what you do. Don't be a bit, you know, uh, as mentioned earlier, we discussed about the social media. No need to follow the social media hype. No need to the fear of missing out, as I've mentioned before. Just listen to your body, know your body. No need to push your limit. Just do sports to maintain your healthy and, as Dr. Fala mentioned before, to maintain to maintain your sanity, to keep you sane, and no need to pursue your personal best or anything amid this COVID pandemic. And I learned so during this pandemic, I learned a bit about a marathon method, about the method that makes people can train slower to race faster. So people build the endurance with the zone 2 heart rate training in the lower pace, but maintaining until 30 minutes, until 1 hour. No need to, you don't need to uh, catch up your breath really heavy. Just try to slow it down. Just do it as your meditations.
mm,
Just start it, and just, yeah, maintain daily routinity, maintain daily activity, daily sport as your daily activities. That's a good things. But yeah, no need to push yourself, and please do the safety protocol for sure. For sure, please do not forget to do the safety protocol as well.
yeah, thank you very much for the tip, Bang Ari. I think for me personally, I would take maintaining consistency is very important,
Exactly.
and to always be persistent. I guess once you've start, hopefully
Sure.
things will be your get if you get it into your habit, then it's you'll be able to do it more as a
Yeah.
routine, and no longer it's not gonna get not easier perhaps, but as you get more used to it, I think you can slowly build your endurance and being able
Yes,
to improve your metabolism as well.
sure.
What about Dr. Fala? Do you have any other tips that you'd like to share if someone would like to take on a healthy habit? Because I knew that you have been starting this for quite a long time, and you've been not only in running but also in other sports, bike riding, which I'm not
Uh,
able to do, and yeah, and all other different things.
okay, the tips. Okay, I don't think I am legitimate enough to give a tips, but start it. Like start today, right now. Just start.
Yeah.
Start. Start from very little is okay. Start from the big is okay.
Mm.
Actually, like every possible thing you can start is everything you can do is like just start it.
Mm.
I mean, if you want, you just do. Like many people have any excuses about I want to start it, but just do it. I think like execute it now because if it's not now, then when?
Yeah. True, true.
I don't know. I just think like I don't have any tips to about healthy thing
Mm.
besides like just do it. Because well, it will improve your stamina. It will improve your day. It will make you happier. It will make you more productive, and you will get all the benefits of your healthy lifestyle. Maybe not next week, maybe not next month, but it will affect your life in a longer time.
Yeah.
It
Mm.
you will get all these like 5 years, 10 years, and maybe if you attend the reunion 10 years from now, you will
Oh,
come with the very dignity. You will come with the very pride because you're still good, because you're very have a nice body, because you have very good skin, because you have very good stamina, and you'll be very proud of it because you built it
Uh,
since now.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you've said, because I think maybe when you start, when a lot of people start to get into a healthier lifestyle during this pandemic, they do it to improve their immunity, to
Uh-huh.
prevent COVID transmission. But if you continue and you persist through it, you can see that it's not only beneficial for you in the short time, but it's very good for yourself as well in the long run,
Yeah,
especially as you get older, and then you can still maintain your health and stamina, and you're still in a good shape, although you're way older than now.
yeah,
And
because I think pandemic is a good momentum for us to start a new thing because we have so much time in home, because we have so much time to contemplating in life.
mm,
God give us really time to be alone because they cut off our social things. God
mm,
cut off our maybe working time outside home. God give us so much time to be us, to
sure.
know ourselves better, to make us know what we really want in life. So yeah, pursue it, be it. So yeah, maybe if pandemic change you nothing, I don't know what will change you.
nice, nice. I think, yeah, that's true. It's a good momentum to start something new as well. It's a good momentum,
Yeah,
especially if you would like to start a healthier lifestyle. There's perhaps
yeah.
no better time than this
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. I will not force you to do something productive in this pandemic because I believe we're we're so exhausted to uh keep our life in healthy things. I believe
Mm,
I will not force you to do something productive, but please, this pandemic is a momentum to be us, to know us better, to be know what do we want in life, what do we want, like what do we want in the future, what do we want to be.
yeah.
Maybe not to being productive because I'm sick seeing so-called motivator to being productive in this pandemic, be productive in the pandemic. Like bertahan hidup aja dulu nggak sih?
Yeah.
Struggling is hard for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to be productive, but you have to be healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can agree
But
more with that. Well, just like the Doc Fala said, God gives us back the most precious things in our life. God gives us back our time during this pandemic. As Dr. Fala mentioned, we have a lot of time in our house, so we don't need to spend a lot of time in the traffic, trapped in a traffic jam. Yeah, we have a lot of time to contemplate. We have a lot of time to know ourselves. Yeah, God gives us back the most precious things in our life. It is the time for me. I'm thankful about it.
nice, nice. Yeah, I think
Oh well, I'm not.
Well, I'm feel a bit good about it, but universally for sure, no.
interesting, interesting. Um, I guess I'd like to ask some more questions, but I'm sorry I forgot to mention that if anyone have any questions as well, please feel free to write them down in the Q&A box, and we'll be very happy to jump in and discuss more about your questions as well. So please just type them up in the Q&A box if you have any questions, either for Doc Fala or for Bang Ari. Just feel free to type them up. And yeah, I think one of the things that I've been a bit curious about is also about how um, the pandemic has been changing not only sports or affecting helping people to pursue a more a healthier lifestyle, but also about how the types of exercise that people have done have started to change and shift. We discussed earlier that uh, now everyone has been starting to run a bit earlier in the morning. You started running at 5. You started riding bikes, which are all a lot of sports that you can do alone. But what about pursuing group sports? If some people like to do perhaps like football or basketball or other sports that people usually do in groups, is there an alternative for a safety way to pursue that during the pandemic?
Well, I don't think it's quite safe enough in this pandemic because it's still face to face to do, but it's all on your risk lah. I
Mm,
mean, it's so hard to say no to people right now. But
Safe to do.
but as long as they go out from their home with their own responsibility and they come back home with their own responsibility, I think the key is the responsibility as well. But I think it's, well, yeah, they know they are not safe, but as long as it came up with the responsibility, well,
Yeah, it might make me a bit skeptical about people know the responsibility. How about the going out and going back home with responsibility? Because a lot of people are still doing some of group sports. Yeah, I have some groups that still doing group competition, football match, basketball training as well. They keep asking me to join them. For sure, I refuse it because it's all about, just like Dr. Fala say, it's all about responsibility. You still have your family in your house. You still have your kids over there. You still, yeah, maybe for them who lives with their own parents, they still have an elder people that they have to taking care of. So yeah, responsibility is the most important things that we have to keep up in our minds.
yeah, I also agree. I guess it all goes back to you as a person, whether you'd like to take the risk or whether you could assess whether the risk is worth it for you, or if you could find other
yeah,
alternatives, I guess, in doing this safely. And
yeah,
what about indoor sports?
yeah.
Like,
Still, it's still a risky thing. It's still a risky thing. So maybe you need to be prepared to be outdoor sports, but unless you can maintain it in a proper way, well, let's say you do it all alone, no like just only 2 to 3 people in a large room, I think it's still pretty okay. You
Mm.
can, yeah, you can measure your own safety for your own safety. So yeah, measure it because you have the basic knowledge it is, so you
Yeah,
can apply it in your
in
activity.
your daily activities. Agree with it. Just like yesterday, I try to hit the gym. Trying to hit the gym back. Just checking around what's the protocol that they did to the gym. Well, I went there and I found only 3 people in a large gym. So we keep very far distance, and then they have the hand sanitizer, blah blah blah, and then they have this disinfectant. Then we have to spray the disinfectant first before we trying to use the equipment. But then, as we discussed earlier, the outdoor sport still might be the best options for now, and doing it alone or really far from people, that will be another things that we have to remember, that if we want to try or do the outdoor sport as well.
Yeah, I guess then it go back to the initial key points that have been mentioned and reiterated tonight. Outdoor sports is always better, and sports alone is even much better if you
Yeah.
could do it. So yeah, I guess for those who are interested in pursuing and continuing their activities, going to the gym or other indoor sports or group sports, I guess it's important to first maintain the 3M health protocols, and also to always assess the risk, whether you're living with people that might be in the vulnerable groups, or people that might be affected by the COVID, who are doing sports with you, and those who are living around you. I guess it's been a very interesting discussion, and I'd like to open the floor for Q&A. If any of our attendees have any questions, feel free to write them up. Just type them in the Q&A box, and we can discuss about that. Any questions that you might have, feel free to address them. We will also have a post attendance survey after this. So if you'd like to receive the e-certificate, then it would be, you could just fill out the survey, the post survey, and we will mention that you'd like to receive the e-certificate as well there. I guess if there's the participants are still a bit shy for asking questions, I could continue asking more questions. Like, it's always interesting to know
Please.
more, to learn about what you have been doing, especially amid this pandemic. I think I'd like to ask Dok Fala, Mbak Fala, a little bit
Hello.
more about the mitigation, the
Yes,
mitigation
yes.
division that you have done. So, what kind of activities have you been
Yeah.
doing with the
Finally, my topic. Oh well. Okay. Well, in the mitigation team that we move based on data that we gather from through all the Indonesia. Actually, we gather up the data that where is the red zone area, where is the orange zone area, where is the green zone area. That we move from the orange to the red zone. That we different where is the high dangerous area that became our target to go first now. And
Mm.
then after we targeted the area that we need to go, we have the coordination to the military or the government there. So we arrange a meeting. We gather all the volunteer there to make sure they do all the protocol, all the healthy protocol. We make sure they have the rules, they have the law. So basically, we move, we just make sure the area is have the little damage of the disaster of the pandemic. In this case, it's the COVID-19. So basically, we move. we make sure the area is pretty safe, and the data is not increasing too high, or in this stay in this normal things, or hopefully it's decreasing.
I see. So it's
Mhm.
more on the efforts to mitigate the influx of
Yes.
COVID-19
Yeah.
cases in
Yeah.
several areas.
Actually, we work in the clandestine way
Oh,
because, yeah, we try to push the data to stay
mm,
about how to stay about the under the normal things. We try to, so we read the data, we read the area. Oh, okay, it's going to the red. So we try to push it to not to red. So the media now, oh, this area is good. Okay, this is our job.
I see. It must be very challenging, especially as you have to travel all around Indonesia,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
also, I mean, to not always only big cities, but more remote areas as well, I guess.
Yes,
Mm.
a very remote area. We moved from the Padang, I mean West Sumatra, and then North Sumatra, and then Banda Aceh, Aceh Besar, and this week to the around of the Java, and the next week we went to we will be going to the Papua with the lot of area, remote area. Well, it's a very challenging for me, and this is new for me, but well, it's a, I don't know, it's a little bit fun maybe because it's challenging. When you get the job you like, really really love to do, and you will get the spark of it. You get the
The
good
excitement.
team,
Yeah.
you get the excitement. You, oh my, get to like, you meet people, you maybe you'll work with love, you work with patience.
Mm.
It's just what you feel is like tired in the body but never in heart, because I still have a hope for the nation. I never give up for this nation. I really love this country. So
Mm.
this is the thing that I will do.
Very nice. I guess, yeah, when you found your passion, I think then you'll be able to give your best as well, and then your
And
job
I don't know.
doesn't.
I really have big power to do this. In
Mm,
this small body, I really have big power to have negotiation to the big people out there, to have negotiation to maybe like to stars general. Like, wow, from this small body, it's, I can have do the all the agreement to them. Maybe the quiet like, uh, do I this job? Do I deserve this job? Gitu. But well, I got this job, you know. But wow, wow.
And you can transform your excitement into the more positive energy, and you
yeah.
influence it to other people. Yeah.
I don't know. I just do it. I just do it.
What about you, Bang Ari? I guess you're also talking about fashion here. You're also in the line with Dr. Fala because you say that you're passionate as well now about promoting healthy lifestyle, and now you're working with GoFit, which is also uh, centered around healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. Maybe just like the fella, when we work with the passion, when we found our passion, when we finally found out what we are looking for at this time, at several years before. Yeah, as I've mentioned earlier, my dad was have a history with the diabetes, and my mom passed away because of breast cancer. So I really want to make people aware about how to taking care of their health, about how to taking care of their body, because yeah, your body and your health is your investment. Just like Doc Farah said, when we might attend a reunion for the next 10 or 20 years, and if we still keep maintaining our healthy lifestyle, we can come with pride, and we can come with, oh, okay, you look way much younger than your actual age. So that's the thing that I would like to make people knows about it. That's why I'm trying to do a lot of good things in sport things, in healthy lifestyle things, because some people might keep thinking that healthy lifestyle is an expensive lifestyle that they have to afford.
Mm.
Well, actually, we can do healthy lifestyle with really cheap price. We can do it really low effort, but the thing is they might not know how to do it. They might have no idea how to find the cheap food, how to create the healthy food with the low price and those kind of things. And maybe just like Tofala said, she loves Indonesia, and I know that Indonesia have a lot of resources about how to find one of the best, food, the best place to do healthy lifestyle, do sport, and a lot of good things. Just like if you know that Bali has already known about one of the best place for yoga retreat and the massage, so that might be help the tourism as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting to pick up on your answer earlier about how Indonesia could actually offers like a very good basis for a healthy lifestyle, because I think um, not only the fancy like healthy food style, but also our local cuisines are very actually healthy if you think about it.
Exactly.
There's a lot of healthy options, a lot of
Sure.
vegetables included, and there's also a lot of like fresh ingredients that
Yes.
would be good for our body. So not it's not always expensive. You could also do it on budget, and you could also uh, do it locally as well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sourcing local ingredients, which are
Locally, eat locally, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
true. I guess it's very interesting because sometimes I think a lot of people often forget that a healthy lifestyle is like a trend or a fad, but it's also something that could get ingrained in our daily life
People
using
have to
more.
talk about how to being vegan, how to being vegetarian, how to being pescatarian, and those kind of really strange word that some people don't know what it's all about. But when people ask me how to do, how to start life healthier, okay, just change your menu, maybe just go to the food stall near your house, buy gado-gado, just split the sauce from the vegetables and then just eat it. And that's very cheap.
Yeah,
Instead of you have to go for some fancy salad with the fancy dressing, with the fancy look. Yeah.
I think that's a very good example. It's something that we can find every day, literally all around us, and it's sometimes
uh,
overlooked as well. I actually have one question personally sent to me just now. Perhaps both Dr. Fala and Bang Ari could answer this, as you both are very busy people. I know, Dr. Fala, you started your day from 5 a.m. and then you have meetings all day long, and but you still make time for exercise. That the person would like to know, if you don't have time for workout, if one day the day doesn't permit you to exercise normally, going for a run, is there anything, any small activities that we can do in the midst of our daily routine that could help us to maintain healthier, uh, like small exercises, perhaps to just take like a briefer, a 5 minute breaks during the day?
Okay, if it's applied it to me, I do dancing.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I do dancing in the middle of my activity. I do dancing everywhere, like in my living house, in my bedroom. Well, like I do dancing like crazy, and it's quite burning my calorie, I think.
I think
So
yeah,
if I don't do running in the morning, I do dancing crazier than any day. But if I do running in the morning, I do dancing like well, not as crazier as night. I mean, not do dancing, but precisely I do dancing.
Oh, okay. Dance. Yeah, I've never thought about dancing. I think that's a very interesting idea
It's
to
good.
start. Yeah, and it's also fun. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
get to
but
move
seriously,
out.
I do dancing. I do dancing.
Nice, nice. What about Bang Ari?
If you have no time, okay. I do a small workout after I woke up, and then just before I go sleep, maybe just a bit push up and sit ups,
Mm,
just like earlier this morning because I still have no energy to run. I still got injured, so I cannot do some heavier sports. Just do like push ups and sit ups in the morning after I woke up, and maybe before I go to bed, I do another push up and sit ups again. That's
mm.
and you can do a lot of stretching. You can do some meditations maybe. It could help your metabolism as well. No need to do some heavy sports. Just make a time for 15 until 30 minutes.
Yeah, I guess we could. I think the most important taking from both of your points are to make sure that to just keep moving. I guess to keep on including that. Think yeah, dancing is shaking out your body
Yeah,
It's interesting, yeah,
to move
dancing.
out.
Okay, I might think about it.
yeah.
I might think
I
about
always do dancing. I always do dancing.
Yeah,
I
and it's
don't know. Like I
something
love
that
it.
you could do on a whim. You don't really have to like plan or like to
Yeah.
prepare mentally like, for.
Yeah. Just a trivia, but I still remember the song that I do dancing when we were in China.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I do dancing with Blackpink.
true, true, true.
Yeah, well, our trip in China is the first counterpart that I listened Blackpink in the first time.
Oh really?
Mhm. Icha, Icha, semi. Listen to Blackpink. Listen to Blackpink. So our journey to China is whole 6 days. I listen Blackpink.
It transform you to a K-pop first as well, I guess. But yeah, I think interestingly, yeah, dancing and also trying to do it early in the morning, like Bang Ari mentioned, or later in the afternoon, to just give a kickstart and to end your day nicely. Because otherwise, if it's harder to do it during the day, to find time when you're already so deep and focused into your work, when you started earlier, wake up and like maybe 5 to 10 minutes instead of scrolling
energize,
through
energize.
social media. I think yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good alternative perhaps to start our day to
yeah.
energize through.
Yeah,
And funny things is my friends know that I love dancing, so they like, oh, Fala is dancing. Okay, forget it. Ignore him or ignore her. Yeah, they know me very well. Yeah, because I can do dancing after I ride cycling at Starbucks. I can do dancing like that. I can do dancing in the bike shop. I can do dancing anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh-huh.
also good when you need to refresh a bit, and then you after you exercise in the middle
just
of the
find a
day,
bit,
then
Yeah.
just find a
yeah,
bit and dance it.
find
Uh-huh.
a bit and dance. I think a very cool tips to share to our audience today. If you're busy and you need some breather, that's
Yeah,
one alternative that you could also take and
yeah,
try in the
Find
daily
a beat dancing and or make a flash mob. That will be interesting.
virtual flash mob, perhaps, because it's
uh,
Would be
still a
nice.
pandemic. Um, I will get one more questions, I guess. But before, I'd like to mention that we will be distributing the post-event survey after the webinar. But for those who would like to receive your e-certificate, you can also fill the link that's in the chat box. So you can either fill the link through the email later or from the chat box, from the link in the chat box that's already there. And I guess I'd like to. I've always been curious about the COVID 19 emergency hospital. If we go back, flash a little bit, would you mind to share like how was life there? How different it was? So,
Okay, well, maybe because it's organized under the military services, so
mm,
it's very tidy there. It's very well organized.
mm,
So, well, I think it's a golden standard of how the hospital of the end in the pandemic works.
mm,
Wisma Athlete is the gold standard of it. So maybe it's the example of how the hospital protect the doctor, protect the nurse,
mm,
because they give me the very proper clothes. They give me the very proper place to sleep. They give me very proper maybe income. That's how they should treat the medical workers. And this
mm,
is a gold standard. It's a very hard to build the same standard in the Indonesia. How to build like Wisma Athlete in the Papua, how to build like Wisma Athlete in the Kalimantan. It's very hard. It's very challenging to do. So it's that maybe it's left this sad feeling on me. But still,
mm,
it's an honor for me can work there and become the part of the doctor of the Wisma Athlete. It's still very honor. Until now, I still have a good communication because maybe someday I can be patient there. But well, no, but
hopefully no, but
yeah,
yeah.
hopefully no. But well, yeah, I still have a good communication with them because I really respect them as a good colleague and as their military services for Indonesia. Well,
Mm,
maybe, but
yeah.
overall, they treat the patient, they treat the doctor, they treat the nurse, they treat the volunteer very good.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Because I've seen, I think a lot of people have seen in the media that it's very strict as well. You
Yeah,
need to wear the protective suits all the time,
betul.
and
Yes,
you also need to get
true,
sanitized when you get
true.
in, you get
Because
out.
because this under the military services.
Mm,
So you need to follow all the rules there.
Standards.
Very tidy, very tidy.
interesting. Is there
Mhm.
any because you've been directly treating and helping patients who are infected with the COVID-19. Do you have any message for those who might think that, oh, this is not real? Or
Well, the COVID-19 is real, and this is it's still going, it's still happen, and it's happening around us, and it's getting scarier maybe
mm,
because right now, right now, this today, it's two of my friends, my close friends, is the patient of the COVID-19, and it's frustrating. It's getting frustrating, but we cannot give up because the key to handle this pandemic is us, is the people of Indonesia, not the medical worker, not the military, not the government, but
mm,
us to how the protocol, to wear masks, to keep the physical distancing, to help to keep the hygiene.
yeah,
So please, yeah, do the things to finish this pandemic with
mm,
us, for Indonesia. Because well, we want to use our passport to go abroad. I miss traveling around the world. Come on, like I want to go to the Germany. I want to go to the Netherlands. Like I don't want to go to the Johor, Bugis, buying clothes, eating ice cream, and then go home. Like come on.
yeah. Because I completely agree. We're all in this together, and it's not the only the healthcare workers' job or the government's job, but it's everyone's job. All of us here.
And and this
Yeah.
this pandemic, the effect of this pandemic is in this country. This country losing the power in the eyes of the world.
Yeah.
We cannot have a power at all. Our passport cannot go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot go anywhere only for traveling. We cannot go to Singapore to go to
Being
Orchard to buy ice cream and then go home to go home.
Mm-hmm.
what we can be as a citizen of Indonesia. So yeah, we need to do something to this pandemic to make Indonesia great again, like Ram said.
True. There's one saying that I've heard been repeating that people say, "Oh, the medical workers, the healthcare workers are in the front line," but I think they're not at the front line, but they're at the
No,
end line. They're the last porters
yeah,
for
we're
defense.
we're we're in the last. We're in the last
Mhm.
to solve all the unsolved problem in the people.
Yeah, completely agree. I guess it's almost 8:30, and I guess I'd like to ask for some final closing statements or messages that Bang Ari and Dr. Fala would like to share to our audience here watching through the Zoom webinar or also watching from YouTube uh, about what we can do to maintain a healthy lifestyle, what we can do to stay safe during this pandemic. If there's any messages that you'd like to share to our audience here tonight? Okay, maybe Bang Ari or Dr. Fala? Dr. Fala?
Well, yeah, the pandemic is still going, so do something for this nation at least once in your lifetime. Wear your mask, do your physical distancing, wash your hygiene, contributing for this nation by solve this pandemic all together with us, for us. That's it.
Thank you, Bang Ari.
Well, we can be hero for this country by only wearing mask now, by only washing your hand for now. We're only keeping a physical distancing for now. That's the easiest way of to being a hero for this country. I mean, please don't be ignorant. Please don't be selfish. I mean, we are as a human, as a social creature, we have to take care of each other. If you cannot contribute in a greater way, just do the healthy protocols, just like wear masks, wash your hand every single time, and keep the distance. That's it. That's the most easiest way to be a hero and the best things to do for this country. Just please keep that in your mind. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think there's all very good message, and if I'm allowed to sum up the discussions today, I think first, maintaining a healthy lifestyle is not only for the moment. It's not only for now. Consistency is the key, and it's also something that we do for ourselves in the long run, and when we're older later, to stay in shape and healthy. And the second point is always to maintain, keep the health wherever you are, whenever you are, and wear a mask, wash your hand with soaps, and maintain safe distance with when you're in public. And yeah, and there's actually I agree with all the points that Bang Ari and Dr. Fala have shared today. That um, it's not that sports is not a different thing. It's just one activities that we do, and it's not an excuse if we would like to skip on doing the health protocol during sports, because there's always if you have a will, there's a way to do sports safely and to maintain your health during the pandemic. And with that, I think I'd like to say thank you very much for Dr. Faladinda and Bang Ari for sharing today with us in this webinar. And I think it's been a very insightful discussion, and it's very nice to talk with you as well. And I'm sure the audiences here are gaining a lot from the webinar too. And I would like to remind, sorry, there was a technical difficulties earlier about the post-event survey. So the correct URL can be checked in the chat box and will also be sent through email later. And we'll also have another webinar in this series on the 27th of November. Uh, titled Music in the Time of Pandemic, Adapting to Virtual Musical Activities and
Wow.
Experience. So if you're interested to know more about how the music scene have transformed into the virtual realm, we will feature three interesting speakers. The first one is Afif Priyatna. The second one is Yasashi Evelyn, and there's also going to be M. Taufikur Rahman, who will be discussing about music and how the music scene have changed during the pandemic in Indonesia. So I'd like to say my thanks again for Bang Ari and Mbak Fala Dinda. Dr. Fala, thank you so much. Bang Ari, thank you so much. I'm sorry if there's any mistakes, and I'd like to remind everyone again to continue wearing the implementing the 3M protocol, memakai masker, mencuci tangan, dan menjaga jarak. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and maintain a safe distance. So I'm Putri from Tenggara Strategics. Thank you very much, and see you all in our upcoming webinar. Thank you.
Ah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Stay safe, stay healthy.